Okay, well, welcome to the IFL Play Cricket Scorer demonstration. Thanks so much to everyone who's joining us. I thought the first thing that I would do would be to show you how to upload a team online using the Play Cricket website. So can everyone see the Play Cricket website? Hopefully it's shared down. Raise your hand if you can see it. Cool. It's not very intuitive. What you need to do, can you see my cursor? You need to log in. So log into the website using the email address and password that you have previously used to register for this site. Um, if you haven't registered for it, send me an email and I will get you set up with Laura. Laura Fairbairn, our excellent administrator who literally does everything behind the scenes. She will get you set up. So when you've logged in, you'll be faced with this screen. Okay. What you need to do is go to account in the top right hand corner. So click on the sort of person logo. That will then bring this menu up. And you then click on site administration. That will then take you to this screen here. Okay. When you're on site administration, you go on this left hand menu bar to day to day. Now, when you hover over it, it'll bring up these various menus, but hover over day to day and then go to fixture management. Okay, is everyone with us so far? When you're on fixture management there, hit fixture management. And that will give you every single fixture potentially that Ealing Cricket Club is playing over the next whatever. And you'll think, oh, where the hell's my one? The answer is whichever team you're managing, you need to find it by clicking on teams. And again, you'll be given every single club that team that Ealing enters into every single competition. So you need to scroll down. Let's use as an example the invaders, under nine invaders. So we'll scroll down this list. Oh, invaders under 14. It's not that. There it is. Invaders under nine. So you click on that. Imagine you're running a different IFL team or indeed a different team. You'll just click on your team. So we've selected invaders. The match is next Sunday. So yeah, it's within next week. Let's do next month just to see all the fixtures. And then we hit search. That's now going to bring up all of the fixtures that the invaders are playing in over the next month. And we want to select the team. And to do that, we hit this sort of person and person logo here. So click on this one. And you can choose which one it's going to be for, invaders or wolves. Let's do invaders. And you'll then be given this screen. Now, I'm just going to take the players out for now. But that's the screen that you'll have. And I've got it all set up for everybody. So it's limited to 8 players. And you'll want to choose 8 of these players. So let's go down this list. Let's choose show the squad. Oops, invaders under 9. Available only. There we go. So take available only over. And there is your squad. So it's showing you the first screen of kids. There's a second screen there of other players. So let's put in, I don't know, let's put in Alfred to open the batting. So let's put him in at number 8. So you press plus next to the player. And of course, you'll know in advance who your 8 are. So let's just add the first 8 on this screen. I'll put Toby in there. Let's put in Reese. I don't know, let's put Eric in. Okay, so you've got 8 players. You've now added them to your list. And you've done that by selecting them from your squad on the right. And you just want to take this available only button off as I showed at the start, otherwise it won't show any kids. And don't forget there's 2 screens here. Okay, so I've selected them. It won't let you save that team until you've chosen a captain. So we'll choose Madhav as captain and a wicket keeper. I don't know, let's put Eric, he's a wicket keeper. So we've selected a captain and a keeper. And now in the top right-hand corner, can you see it's given me the chance to save that team? So I'm going to hit save on there. That team has now been pre-uploaded onto Play Cricket Scorer. The reason for doing this is if you turn up at the start of a match for the IFL, there'll be 50 kids running around. You'll be trying to do a warm-up. You'll need to do a toss. You'll need to be on the WhatsApp chasing all the late players, and you just won't have time to do it. Whereas if you've set it all up in advance on the website and saved it, it will then magically appear on Play Cricket Scorer when you log in. So, does is everyone good on that? Does anyone have any questions at this point on any of that?
Um, no, but I have just one question because I was playing with the app yesterday. Yesterday, I think. Um, I couldn't see these names. Like I saw the game for next week.
Yeah,
Um, and I just selected one of the games I selected the game for next week, but I couldn't see in you know what you have all the names in the right side. I didn't have.
yeah. Can you still hear me, Bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. That's probably because the Panthers hasn't quite yet been set up. So um,
Okay.
I promise that I will get that set up
So
straight
still not set
away.
up. So I will not send them a message to put their availability because we still don't have that, right?
Yeah, that's right. Don't worry. I can show that separately. Uh,
Okay.
so I can do that right at the end. I'll show you how to look at the availability on. In fact, why don't I quickly show you that now?
I know how
So,
to look at availability. So I did that last year, but
yeah.
so the play cricket one, the scorer, I wasn't doing it. My husband was doing this bit because he was
Okay.
this.
No worries. Well, look, what I'm quickly going to
Yeah.
show as a little detour
Okay.
it is indeed the Pitch Aero Manager. So this app here, Pitch Aero Manager. So
Yeah.
let's say you're for the Panthers under 10,
Yeah.
and you can see here's your availability. So we've got one, two, three, four, five. We've got five girls who can play on Sunday the 27th for now. But if we
Okay.
want to select that team, what
Mhm.
we're going to do is go to Match Center, Panthers. We're going to click on that game. We're going to do team selection. It's already set to 8, and we're going to choose, I don't know, let's just choose the players from this menu here.
Yeah.
Is that pretty clear? So we go on.
Oh, okay. So when I do that, then we reflect to the other app, right?
Uh, no, not exactly,
Oh,
because they're separate systems. So Pitch Aero, the one I'm showing you here,
yeah.
is how you notify the players that they're going to play. So
Yeah.
let's say that you've got like a team of 8. You select them, and then you hit prompt players, and then you publish the team selection.
Yeah. This app, I'm fine with that. I did
You're good
that.
on that one. That's
Uh,
perfect. That's how you use that one.
uh,
Don't worry about the play cricket. The reason they're not on there yet is because
yeah.
no one at the club has yet manually put those players in. So don't worry, I'll just do that
Okay.
tonight. I'll put all 17 players that are on your Panthers
Okay.
um, squad here. So all of these players, I will put them manually onto play cricket, or I'll make sure that they're added to your Panthers squad. So that
Okay.
on the previous screen that I showed you, that you'll be able to manually add them before the start of the game. All
Okay.
right, cool. So look, that's Pitch Area Manager, Play Cricket Scorer. So you're going to download Play Cricket Scorer, which looks like that. No, wrong one. My apologies. It looks like this. So that's Play Cricket Scorer. There. You open it up, and you then get your list of all of the matches for the next, I don't know, like 10 days or so. If the matches aren't showing up, there's a button in the top right-hand corner, like the download arrow. Can you see that? So I hit on that, and it says this will download any new fixtures. Oh, well, I'm probably going to regret that because the ball's going to go round. No, it's downloaded, then we're all good. Make sure that it's on the under 9 into franchise league. Okay, well, there's under 11s have got theirs up, but no one seems to have done the under 14s yet. Never mind. But the under 9s are on this, so we'll select the under 9s. And then let's say that we're going to score the Invaders game. So Invaders v Wolves. Can you see that's the first one on there? So we'll select it by just tapping on that, and you're then offered the option to start the match, which we're going to select. Okay. So it will whir around for a bit. And while it's loading it up, hey presto, can you see there that the Invaders have got 8 players selected? And the reason for that is because we just selected them on the website. And if you want to just double check that, you can see there, do you remember a short while ago, I selected Madav as the captain and Eric as the wicket keeper? They are all on there. And if you want to take it to the next level, you can make sure that when you put them on there on Play Cricket, that they're in the correct kind of order for the pairs for the batting. That's another good tip because then when they come up on your screen, they're going to be in the right order. So we can see that the Invaders team, that's all pre-selected, which is amazing. Unfortunately, the Wolves manager didn't quite get round to doing that. And that's why this is a pain now because you have to manually add them on the day. And that does take quite a lot of time. But anyway, look, let's assume that you can manually add them and that they are indeed then added, and you press next to set up the match. Now, look, I'm not going to do that now because we don't actually want to start scoring that game. But what I do have in store, and while I keep talking, I'm going to set up um, a dummy game of England 1993.
Tom, sorry, if Ealing are playing, if we're scoring an Ealing game against Shepherd's Bush, say,
Yeah,
will they have their list of players in
they should
the
do.
app?
Yeah, they should exactly. So if they've done their job properly before the game, then
Added there.
they will have pre-added their team, and that will also appear in there, and then you can go and hit start, and then
I've had it where the opposition haven't done that, and I've basically almost done it for them because they're a bit not sure as well. So,
yeah, and like say some clubs won't have done it, and
mm.
you'll need to like manually put the players in. So while I'm talking, I'm actually setting up a game here. We'll put Ian Healy in that team along with Shane Warne, and then we'll start this match off. So
And
look,
sorry, is it one scoring for both teams on when
it,
we play another opposition?
no, it's just one overall scorer. So on Play Cricket, it's a
Yeah,
good question. Only one person can be the official Play Cricket scorer, and that's basically the person who logs in first. So
yeah.
make sure that if you go to a game and let's say that it's against another team and they've got a very enthusiastic parent, but they've never used Play Cricket Scorer before, just make sure that you're the if you're confident with it and you're going to score the game for Ealing, just say to them, look, I'm going to set it up, and as soon as I've got it set up, then you log in and you can then score the game. And what that does is it means that you're the official scorer, so you've like got carriage of the scoring, but that other person can also kind of like ghost score it on the app. So they just follow exactly the same process that I've done, and it will then come up with a screen for them which says someone else is scoring this game. Do you want to score it offline? And they just tick yes. And it's quite a good way of doing it because they'll be scoring it offline, but you'll be the official scorer. So you can compare the scorecards on each other's phones at the end of each over, and that works quite well. I mean, equally, you might find that the other parent is very competent and they're really confident with it, and they can be the scorer and you be the offline scorer. But yeah, the way it works is that there's only one device which is logged into the or linked to the server, which scores the game. Does that answer that one, Paul?
Yeah, sure.
Does anyone else have any questions before I get into my exciting game?
No, thanks.
Okay, cool. So, we've just started the match, remember? In fact, let's just go back a screen and we'll look at the teams. So, we've got 8 players for England 1993. And look, we've got 8 players. I mean, look at that top 5 for Australia. From 1993, and then we start the game, and we then come on to this setup. So let's get these players to play a game of 16 overs pairs cricket. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn off confirm balls. We're going to turn off record batting minutes. We're going to turn on show full player names. Unfortunately, no one's yet bought me a Bluetooth electronic scoreboard, so we can't use that, unfortunately, yet. Overs per innings, well, it's 8 aside, so that means it's going to be a 16 overs pairs game. We're not playing a super over. Now, look, maximum overs per bowler It should be 2 per bowler, but I would advise you to set it to 3. And the reason is sometimes, very occasionally, you might get a kid that just doesn't want to bowl a second over, or they get injured or whatever. And if you set it to 2, you'll then have a problem because the app won't let you select anyone else to bowl that third over. It's a bit of a glitch. So I'd always advise setting it to 3. Balls per over is 6. Who can tell me how much a wide is worth in IFL?
2.
It is, so 2. And how about the final over in IFL? What's it worth? It's also worth 2.
Yeah.
No ball is worth 2, and the same in the final over. We don't re-bowl them, so we turn that one off. We don't re-bowl the wides. Now, if you're playing an MJCA game and you're adhering to the strict letter of the law, you do re-bowl them in the final over. So you'd put those on, and they're worth 2. So that's just a little point worth noting, but we don't do that in the IFL, so we don't re-bowl. Overs per pair, look, it's in there correct. It's 4. The maximum balls per over we changed to 6. You can be out unlimited times. You start on 200. You lose 5 per wicket. And it's really important to turn this button on, change strike after a wicket. Okay, now that's the setup. I'm hoping that all of that will be preset when you load Play Cricket Scorer on. All of those settings will be automatically set like I've just shown. But it's really important to just double check before you start the game. So hopefully that one is clear. Any questions on the setup screen? Okay, so we hit setup in the top right-hand corner. Mike Atherton won the toss. He decided to bat. So we select who won the toss, who decided to bat. Now this screen will then pop up. We're going to do score ball by ball. Don't hit score manually, score ball by ball. And it then gives us the chance to select our opening batters. So we'll have Athers opening. And we'll put Alex Stewart as the non-striker. Who's going to open the bowling for Australia? Well, regrettably, I didn't select Glenn McGrath in this team. So we're going to have Jason Gillespie. So I've selected him. And the first over is going to be quite uncontroversial. Can you see at the bottom there, we've got a dot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and all the rest of it. So, you know, it's Mike Atherton on strike, and I'm hitting the dot ball button repeatedly, as you can see. And then on the final ball of the over, Jason Gillespie has had enough, and he's bowled a bouncer. And the bouncer is called, it's gone so far over Atherton's head, it's been called a wide. So we're going to hit wide in the bottom left corner. And it then comes up with this screen just to try to confuse you, because it knows we've already set this to 2 and 2, but it wants you just to confirm that. So the first time that there's a wide or a no ball, this screen always pops up. Just hit continue scoring. And then it's asking you to confirm it, which you do with the tick. Okay. And at the end of the over, you hit end over, but you can see it gives you a summary. 5 dot balls and then 2 wides, and that's the end of the over. So we will hit end over. Now the next over is going to be bowled by the late great Shane Warne, who we're going to select. And it has correctly changed the strike. So you can see who the strike batter is because Alex Stewart is now highlighted in blue. But if for whatever reason you wanted to change it, I don't know, let's say that Alex Stewart had hogged the entire strike and Mike Atherton is getting a bit upset and, you know, his dad's on the boundary sort of giving you dirty looks because his son's not faced the ball and you think, oh, actually, I want to swap these batters over. You can do that by pressing over Mike Atherton. So there it will give you the chance just to sort of manually change the strike. We're not going to do that because it will just confuse things. But sometimes you might find in the IFL that a kid's faced like 15 balls and the boy or girl at the non-striker's end is feeling a bit left out and you just want to manually change them. And you can do that by using the screen that I've just shown. So the first ball, it's Warne to Stewart. He's hit it for 1. The next ball, Atherton's on strike and unusually he's hit it for 6, so we're going to hit a 6. The next ball, there's a wicket. So you're going to hit wicket in the bottom right-hand corner. That brings up this screen. Mike Atherton he's been dismissed. He's going to be LBW to a flipper. So we're going to select that, and then we're going to hit done, and it will ask you to confirm it there. And it has actually changed the strike, which is great because in pairs cricket, when you're out, you change strike, and you can see Alex Stewart is now on strike, highlighted in blue. And again, first ball, he's going to take a single. And the next ball, Atherton is back on strike to Warne, and he's out again. So it's a wicket, you hit wicket. This time, he's going to be out caught. So we're going to select dismissal type caught, and we're going to hit done. And it's going to be caught by Ian Healy, who has actually caught it on this occasion. It hasn't bounced, even though he's claimed it hasn't. We're going to hit done, caught behind by Ian Healy. Now, look, it doesn't matter if you don't do this in the IFL. This is quite nice to do, but you might want to put the kid's name down that took a catch because it might be the only thing that they do in the game. They might not take a wicket. They might have a torrid time with the bat, but they might take a cracking catch. And sometimes it's quite nice for them or, parents or whatever to see on the scorecard because people do look at the scorecard. I mean, it's cricket, even though it's IFL, it's got its rules. It's the nature of the game. It has to be scored. If you feel you can put their name on there, do. And it's also quite nice to ask the kid, who took that catch? Let's put their name, put them on as the fielder. Okay, then we'll hit done. And then it's asking you to confirm it again there, which we'll do with a tick. You can see poor old Athers is now on -4, having faced 9 balls, but he has hit his 6. So I would regard that as a pretty successful day for a kid in the IFL, if that's what they did. And the last ball is going to be a dot ball, and we are going to end that over. So we're now going to choose another bowler. I don't know who's your next best option on there. Let's go for some left arm. Unorthodox wrist spin, as it now has to be called. Michael Bevan's going to come into the attack. We're going to do a load of dot balls just to move through this quickly. Okay, so there we go. Dot ball and the over. Actually, let's put Mark Taylor on for a bowl, just because I want to show you what's going to happen next. Okay, so how many overs have they faced now? They've faced 3.5 overs. So at the end of this ball, it should come up and tell me that it's the end of the pair. And Alex Stewart is going to take a single. We're going to end the over, and you can see we've had 4 overs. The score's at 201. End over, and it has worked. Okay, so it knows that they've batted for the required 4 overs. And do you wish to select a new pair of batters? You hit OK. Go on then. Who are we going to have in next? Someone tell me.
Yeah.
Nasser, Butcher.
Yeah, I think that's fair. To put Nasser in, Butcher. Okay, next bowler. Didn't know Langer could bowl. He's going to have a bowl. Just to get through this, I'm going to do a few dot balls, a 2, a 1, and a 3. And I'm going to end the over.
Tom, I can see there's that. If you make a mistake,
I'm coming on.
Little...
Here we go. So, okay, so Butcher's on strike. He's taken a 1. Hussein, he's dotted. And he's hit a 6. I've just hit 6. And another 6, which is clearly a mistake because Nasser Hussein is incapable of hitting Mark War for 6. And as Dave has said, there's this arrow button here. Can you see this arrow that's come into play? This is the best way of rectifying a mistake that you've just made. So if we hit the arrow, it'll take that last ball away. So can you see it's gone down to 0.4 balls? And let's take the other 6 away from Nasser Hussein and press that again. So that blue arrow there, blue sort of undo button, we're going to hit that, and here we go. So that's taking it down to 0. I'll just put the cursor on as well, so you can see it's that one there that I'm hitting to do. So let's show another way potentially of trying to edit this. So let's say we'll put those 2 6s back in. So I'm going to hit the 6th here twice. Now I think, can you see in the top here we've got ball by ball?
Yeah.
This is quite a useful way of just having a quick check over your work. So let's hit ball by ball here. And we can see it's like a breakdown of the innings so far. but it sometimes gets itself a bit in a bit of a twist. I've had 1 over 2, over 3, over 4. That's all grand. Over 5. So it's a little bit confusing because over 5 starts with a 4, but that's just because over 1 starts with a 0. So that's confused me sometimes when I've been doing it. But if
Mm.
you want to edit a particular ball, so let's say you see the last ball that we just put in there, that's 6. Let's say that we want to manually edit that. It actually, the third umpire had a look at it, it's actually a 4. So we're going to click on this pencil here. And there's another screen that enables you to do it. It's this way round. So let's say that it's actually, we're going to change the runs here. It was a 6. I'm actually going to hit the minus and put it down to a 4. Okay, and I'm then going to do done. Let's see if that works. And let's now go back to the innings view. So Nasser Hussain should still be on strike, and it's got it correct. Okay, now let's watch what happens if we do ball by ball. It wasn't a 4, but it was actually a wicket. So again, we're going to go to that edit screen. The score type. Okay, now that's fine. Actually, let's say that he was out. We're going to, I think it might be add wicket. Yeah, so Nasser Hussain, I don't know, let's say that he was, that's interesting. It's only giving us those choices. So he should be on strike. So let's say we wanted to make Nasser Hussain out. Can you see when I hit edit here? So I scored it as a 4 to Nasser Hussain, but I wanted to make him out. And I'm going to do add wicket, but it's annoyingly not letting me give him out bowled because it thinks that he's at the non-striker's end. And here we have our first classic glitch. So the way to undo the glitch is you go back to your screen of first innings. You can see that Nasser Hussain's on strike. And you probably want to use the undo button instead. So rather than doing my ball by ball editing, which was this screen, it wasn't letting me give him the correct dismissal. So I thought, oh, that's not working. I'm going to go back here. This isn't working because it's a glitch. So I'm going to use this screen to edit it instead. And it's Dave's undo arrow. And I'm going to hit undo. And I'm then going to do the wicket this way round. And I'm going to make him bold. And now you can see it has given us all the correct set of dismissals. So that's a good example of a classic play scorer glitch, where you've just got to kind of work around it and use the other method. So let's do that one out as bold, and then let's select it. And it has correctly now put Mark Butcher on strike. Let's give him a dot ball. Let's end the over. Let's Ian Healy, because he's the wicket keeper and he's playing pairs cricket. He's got to participate. So we're going to just knock through a couple more overs now. And you can see all of that coming in here. And this should be the end of another pair. It is, so it's going to let us select 2 more batters. We're getting into slightly, well, we're not because we've got Thorpe. We'll put Thorpe and Elam in now. So this is your third pair. We're getting through the bowls. We'll give Bevan another over. Now, what's going to happen here? We'll do a few no ball scenarios. So let's say the first ball, Bevan bowls a no ball. It's just a straight up no ball. You're just going to select the tick. The next one, it's a no ball, and the batsman has hit it for 4. So you just go back. So you're going to hit no ball at the bottom, and then it's gone for 4. You hit 4. That means it's 2 no balls plus the 4 runs, and you're going to hit tick. The next one, let's say, is a straight up wide. So you're going to hit the wide. That's okay. The next one is a classic IFL scenario. It's a wide, and it goes past the wicket keeper, and the kid at fine leg tries to field it, but it goes through his legs for 4. So we hit the wide, but then unfortunately 4. And should this be registered as 4 wides or as a wide plus 5? Oh, no, this is another little glitch for me to see. Let's see what it does. Of course, it should be scored as 6 because it's, as we know, in IFL, a wide is worth 2. And unfortunately, because it's gone for 4, it's 2 plus 4. It should be 6. Let's see if it scores it as 6 or 5. It's on 231. See, look, it says it's 5 wides, which is not what we want. So we're going to have to manually overcome that problem. So we're going to do wide, and we're going to just see what happens if we do it as a 5. Our number of wides, now we're in, we can select it correctly. It should be scored as 6. So we know, because we've read the sheet that I produced, that it's 2 for a wide plus any other buys. So that's a good example of just, I guess, thinking on the spot, knowing your options on play cricket, that the correct rule is that if it goes for 2 for a wide, it's scored as 2 plus the number of buys. And the way that we overcame that was we selected a wide, we hit the 4, but we realized that it was going to miss score it. So we overcame that by saying, no, we don't actually want that. The correct thing to do is wide. We're going to try our best to see if we can overcome it. And it should actually be scored as 6 wides. Oh, now we've got it correct. We can hit tick. Is everyone okay with that?
This is a good example of why it's good to always have somebody scoring in backup, because the
Yeah.
game, you're trying to figure all of this out and the game is moving. And then you're
Yeah,
getting
exactly.
then you're getting
Yeah.
ball behind.
So it's quite it is a bit glitchy. You just need to really pay attention to it. And then if it comes up with a problem like that, don't panic. Don't sort of score it as a 5. Just go back, and just go through the motions again, because that one kind of caught me a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom, how did you do
Yeah.
it? Did you press the
Yeah.
5+ button?
Yeah, I did on
What?
that one.
Sorry?
So I'll show you again. So let's do it again. So it's a wide, yeah, and then I wanted to hit 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, it went for a wide, it went through the kid's legs at
Yeah.
drill, and it hit the hockey goal. And it counts, 4.
Yeah.
So I hit 4, but it wanted to score it as 5. But it's a glitch, because it should have picked up.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, it should have picked up on the setup screen that we'd actually, remember, we set it up to score a wide as 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a glitch. So
Mm.
I accepted it for now, but on the confirmation screen, I then hit cross.
Oh.
And it then gave me the chance to re-add the score. So I then went through the motions again, and I tried a different solution. So I knew that the 4 didn't work, but I knew that the 5+ would give me some flexibility, because it does. And there's the flexibility. You can change how many it is. So
Mm.
I hit on the plus button. So
Okay.
rather than scoring it as 5 wides, I increased it to 6.
Yeah.
I'm done. And then I selected the tick to say thanks very much.
So can we maybe from the beginning, because we now have this is a glitch. So if we, example, do the wides and then 2, so and then what we do, we just go to 5+, because we know there is a glitch there.
Yeah, you know now.
Yes,
I bet you when you play on Sunday, remarkably, that glitch won't be there anymore.
Oh, okay. So it
Yeah.
just
It might come and go in the same game.
Because I'm afraid to say that play cricket is a bit unreliable. Now, look, what I've just done here, as a good example, is I've erroneously selected Mark Taylor as the bowler,
Mhm.
but he's already bowled 2 overs. Oh no,
Mm.
so he can't bowl. And he's throwing his baggy green down in frustration, because we've got to change him. And the way we're going to change him is we're going to hit here and then so he clicked on his name, and then we go change. And you'll do this in a match. You'll select the wrong bowler, or you'll even call on some kid to bowl again,
Mhm.
because they keep going, me, it's my turn, I want to have a go, it's me. And then poor little quiet chap over in the corner won't have bowled a single over, because he's not been, you're in the middle of the thick of it in a game, and you'll select Mark Taylor, and he's already had his 2. So you click on his name, and then you do change bowler, and it should then give you all the others. So let's give Shane a go. He's only bowled 1 over. We can see that here. Now, just pausing a second, if we want to have a look at the scorecard, we hit these 3 dots in the top corner. And you see the 3 dots. Now, this is a very useful thing. If you want to keep an eye on how many overs have all the kids bowled, and you go here to view stroke edit scorecard. And at the bottom, so we can see poor old Athers was out twice, and it was -4. But we don't want that. We want to scroll down. And this is quite useful, because it will give you who's bowled your overs. So you know that these people here have had one each, but you know that Taylor and Bevan have already had two, so they can't unfortunately bowl another one. Under no circumstances do you click on this button at the bottom here, or it'll screw the entire thing around. I don't know why they've got that as an option, but they do. Anyway, when you're done with the scorecard, click cancel. Don't click done. Okay, so let's get back out of here. And Shane Warne is on to Mark Elam. Mark Elam played for Kent. He played a few, actually surprising bit of pace, if I recall. And we knew that I think Justin Langer might have another over left. Yes, he does. Let's just quickly get through these overs. It's quite a good partnership here from Thorpe and Elam. And that's the end of their pair. England doing well. They're on 273 after 3 pairs. And we're down to the dregs of the England batting lineup. Well, we've got Tuffers. I've got Robert Croft, decent lower order batter actually, and we know that we've got a few bowlers to go. Has Gillespie had his two? No, he hasn't. He's going to come in roaring in from the pavilion end, and it's going to be a maiden. So we're going to hit the dot ball here repeatedly because Tuffers just cannot get the ball off the square. Ian Healy's got to bowl another because he's the wicket keeper. Just pausing there, this is quite a good point for the IFL. The keeper does bowl in pairs cricket, and so you want to make sure that you've got someone else padded up, or the pads are all ready to go. You've got a parent lined up to pad up the next keeper on the boundary, because the keeper does bowl too, and you might want to do it. You know, so the keeper opens the bowling, bowls his 2 overs, and then he gets padded up after the first pair and keeps for the rest of the game. So Healy's a useless bowler. He's going to get tonked all over the place by Robert Croft. And that's the end of the over. We've got 2 overs of this innings left. Steve Waugh, he's going to just go for a single every ball, so we're just going to keep hitting the 1. I just made a mistake, so I'm going to go and edit that, and I'm going to look at the 3 dots in the top corner. I'm going to edit the scorecard. Sorry. No, ball by ball, my apologies, ball by ball. Ball by ball. In fact, so can you see that last one? It was a 1 run by Phil Tufnell. So Robert Croft should be on strike. Well, he's on strike, but actually it should be a 2. So let's change it to 2. Should put Phil Tufnell back on strike. I bet it won't. There we go. See, I know this glitch. And that's one that you've got to watch out for. Can you see that last ball was a 2? Phil Tufnell scored 2 off the bat. But because you edited it, Play Cricket Scorer has a glitch and it doesn't update the strike batter, and it's put Croft on strike still. So you just change the strike by clicking on Tufnell. And you just do change strike. And that's how it should be. If you edit it ball by ball, let's say that you completely made a Horlicks and the batters didn't change ends properly at the end of the over. And let's say, for argument's sake, that this here should have been Phil Tufnell. You can change it on this screen, and what it will do is it will ask you whether you should change it for all of the subsequent balls, and you'll click yes. Does that one make sense on that one that I just did? Cool. So there's a couple of overs left. We're going to dot ball it. End of the over. So the last over of the innings. I can't for the life of me remember who's got that last over to bowl. Yeah, I've got a good memory. That's sad. We're going to do a maiden over for Mark Waugh. And now I want to show you what happens here. So that's the end of the innings. 16 overs gone. We're going to end the over. And now we need to get these screens right. So end of the innings, compulsory close. You're going to click yes. And it's now left us with a blank screen. And you're like standing there. All the kids are on the boundary coming into bat, and you're like, the Play Cricket Scorer's defunct. You know, it's not offering me the choice for who's going to bat. I want to click on a bat. You know, it's not doing anything. It's frozen. It hasn't done that. You just need to click on new innings. Okay, so just remember this one. You're just going to do new innings, and we are going to open the batting with these 2. Now, does anyone have any questions at this stage? Have I missed anything, or does anyone have any Please, someone come up with some questions while I put in all of these scores so that I can show you what to do at the end of a game. Anyone got any questions for me?
I just wanted to, those rules at the start that you were sliding left and right.
Yeah.
I just want to, which ones should we have defaulted on and off, sort of thing? Just a very quick.
You'd like a recap of? Oh, this is a good one that's just come up. Look, another glitch for you quickly. Can you see that this over I was just scoring? Phil Tufnell has bowled his 6 balls, but the wretched thing hasn't ended the over. It wants me to do a 7th ball. And there's one way of doing that, which is you can click here, end over, which I'm going to do. So end over, you hit that button there, and then it brings the next ones up. Yeah, Peter, it's a good question. What I'm going to do, I will just go through it again after I finish the recording.
Yeah. Sure.
On that. The reason is I'm just going to quickly race through these.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Because what I want to do is to show everybody what happens at the end of a game, because the end of the game screens are so confusing, and it's actually really important because the IFL and all of our matches are scored on Play Cricket, and if we don't actually upload the scorecards at the end of the game, Atherton coming on to bowl some leg spin against the War Brothers. While I talk, if we don't upload the scorecards, then it just sort of sits in limbo, and it's really yeah, not ideal. Does anyone else have another question for me while I fiddle around with this? Because I've got another 3 overs to put in, I think, before it will let me end this game. No, okay. I put the wrong bowler in there, so we'll change the bowler. Laura Crofton. Okay, so best Ashes memory, probably attending the Oval in 1997. The last day of that Test match was an England victory, and that was a fantastic occasion. I think most of these players were probably playing in that game. I think that summer I attended the 2 days of Test cricket in England where we actually won an Ashes Test.
Yeah.
And one, I can't remember where the other game was. It was probably at Edgbaston. And I'm now talking to try and fill the time while I remember who these other bowlers are. Phil Tufnell's had 2. Who else hasn't had a bowl? Right. So what I want to do is to try and get onto these end screens.
Yeah.
So we're on to the last pair now. What I'm going to do you remember I showed earlier that I can't actually now remember who has bowled what. So I'm going to do Robert Croft, but he's had his 2 overs. So I'm going to use the 3 dots in the top corner. I'm going to view the scorecard and I scroll down to the bottom and I can see that the bowling's going to be Atherton and Stewart. So I could see from the bottom that they're the only 2 that have got an over left. Okay, so that's quite a useful kind of tip, because honestly, sometimes kids will swear blind that they've only bowled 1 over, and you're like, no, mate, I'm sure you've bowled 2. And you can double check on your own, or you can ask the scorer to check. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, well, we're just going to finish this game off because I can't be bothered to go and look through it anymore. I'm giving a few people an extra over for whatever reason. All right. So what's going to happen now? You can see Australia have absolutely hammered England. They've got 336. We got 295. And you can see there, that tells you how far ahead they are. They're 42 ahead. They've not lost a wicket. So let's end the game. Now, that's the end of 16 overs. So we'll end that over.
Yeah.
It's going to be a compulsory close again. So we'll hit yes. And now you know that the game is finished because we're only playing 1 over each. But again, Play Cricket has got itself in a pickle. It's got nowhere to go. And we're not going to hit new innings because this is a real fiddle. do not hit new innings. You know that each one's had 1 innings each. Sometimes it'll work and you won't have to get this blank screen, but sometimes it'll have a glitch in it like this. And so you're going to hit actions and we're going to do, so sorry, did everyone see that? Actions is this button here,
Yeah.
actions.
Tom,
Yep.
I learned last season by a valuable lesson going back to a match not going right. I was scoring it with somebody. I was actually the backup scorer, and the actual scorer left midway through the game,
Oh no.
which is I thought I was scoring it fine. So I ended the match, and the backup scorer, it doesn't save it.
Really good tip, Paul.
So actually, if you go to the 3 dots at the top, you can download a PDF of the game. So if it, for whatever reason, doesn't upload, or somewhere around there, you can export to PDF.
Yeah.
Then you know you've got a PDF of it. And if for whatever reason it doesn't upload to the system, you can leave in peace because somebody could put the scores in later.
I
And
mean, that
not,
is absolutely
we
fantastic.
lost heart. We lost. We knew who. Luckily, I'd taken a screenshot of the end result, so we could put the
Yeah.
result in. But we lost all the scores, and
That's
my
an awesome.
my boys were not happy with me whatsoever.
Yeah, that's an awesome tip. I mean, actually, before we do end it, you can see that the 3 dots gives you all these options. So view, stroke, edit the scorecard, match settings. I think someone had a question on that.
Yeah.
You can see what they are there. And it's sort of you don't get quite as many to choose from if you go back as you did on the opening screen, but that'll give you a good reminder as to what we've chosen.
Yeah.
I mean, just to sort of recap, don't have confirm balls off because otherwise you have to press the button every single ball. Do show the full player names so that you can get all that detail. Turn the wagon wheel off. That's
Yeah.
really important. Otherwise, every ball it'll want you to draw, where the wagon wheel's gone. Turn the super over off. Make sure that there's no re-bowling if the no balls or wides. Set this to 3 just in case you get an injury. Those would be my kind of top tips on that. So anyway, let's go back to the end of the game. We're not going to hit new innings at the end of the game because that'll create a complete Horlicks. We're going to hit actions, and then we're going to do end match. So
After
yes,
you downloaded the PDF.
after you've downloaded the PDF, if you so desire. Are you sure you wish to end it? Yes, I am. You can now edit the scores and scorecard. Please don't do that because it will have been scored correctly. We don't edit any scorecards on Play Cricket Scorer anymore. You can have a quick summary of it, but that's your job isn't done as the scorer because for some reason you need to end the match again, and that's this button at the bottom. So we're going to hit end match, and then when this screen comes up, we're going to do finalize result. So we're not going to do save and exit. We're going to do finalize result. And then I think the correct choice here, for some reason, it doesn't let you choose Australia won, but actually we're going to choose England lost. Now, for the IFL, don't worry, it will give you the chance to somebody won the game. But make sure you select the correct choice and then hit done. And then you can see that that now has been uploaded to Play Cricket. And you'll know that because you'll get this like completed screen here. So that's one match that I scored before. That's done. So you can have a look at that one. And that's the match that we just scored there. Started 40 minutes ago. I'm sorry about that. And that's that done. Now, did anyone have any questions on the scoring app before I end the screen share?
Yeah, I just found it a bit complicated with the glitches, to be honest. Like, it was very easy at the beginning, and then with all this confusion. So if you just please repeat how you ended the game and how you uploaded it, because I didn't catch up this.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, Bear. What I'm going to do, let me stop that share now. I'm going to thank everyone very much for viewing this if you've been viewing it, and I'm going to end the recording now. And then I'll deal with these bits.